Hello everyone, welcome to the More channel. Many of you wonder why a nuclear bomb forms a mushroom cloud when exploded instead of an expanding fireball. Right now, let's find out together. Firstly, let's quickly talk about the concept of a nuclear bomb. In thousands of years of history, mankind invented a deadly weapon called nuclear bomb that makes us scared when hearing its name. Nuclear weapons are considered weapons of mass destruction because their energy comes from nuclear reaction, or fission, or fusion. The average of a nuclear bomb explosion had a destructive power up to 300,000 tons of explosives, which can completely destroy an entire city. It is estimated that if the destructive power of a nuclear bomb reaches 1 million tons, it can obliterate an area with a radius of 100 to 160 kilometers. Nuclear weapons simply derive energy from the process of fission or called nuclear fission. In theory, a nuclear bomb uses a disintegrated material assembled into a critical mass and then initiating a chain reaction, releasing a huge amount of energy. From a physical perspective, this process is accomplished by firing a subcritical material sample into another subcritical material sample to create a state called supercritical. Usually, such weapons are called atomic bombs, also known as ACOMs. When a nuclear bomb explodes and forms a characteristic mushroom-shaped white cloud. The second is the reason why nuclear bombs form mushroom cloud when exploded. Katie Linguist, a computational engineering researcher at Penn State Fairmont National Laboratory in California, said that although the energy explosion initially formed a ball of hot gas, when it just started, it will gradually rise. The cylindrical sphere in the middle will bear the buoyant force larger than the surrounding. The sphere is formed in this way. When the liquid with the lowest density is in the center, it rises very quickly, like a pie in an oven, gradually heating and expanding. Although the entire spherical liquid is rising, the material in the middle rises more quickly. The cold air outside the sphere will begin to spill downwards, causing the rising bubble to twist into a circle. Hot air molecules move faster, and with more energy, they will collide with each other at high speed, and eventually create a very large space between them, so they form an almost environment vacuum. According to this interpretation, the ejected material is shot into the vacuum and then pushed upwards again, thus forming a mushroom cloud at the top and a black region at the bottom. Thirdly is the effect of nuclear explosions on the whole of humanity. The energy released from a nuclear weapon explosion includes pressures, 40 to 60% of total energy, thermal radiation, 30 to 50% of total energy, ionic radiation, 5%, for now, 5 to 10%. Inside this, the most important effects of nuclear weapons are pressure and thermal radiation, which have the same destructive mechanism as conventional weapons. The fundamental difference is that nuclear weapons can release a large amount of energy at the same time. The world witnessed the dire consequences of nuclear weapons when it was first used during the Second World War. Specifically, on August 6, 1945, the U.S. dropped a bomb nicknamed Little Boy, with the equivalent destructive power of 20,000 tons of trinitrotoluene (TNT) explosive on Hiroshima City in Japan. This atomic bomb explosion destroyed most of Hiroshima City and was almost flattened. About 140,000 people died in this dangerous nuclear bomb explosion. On August 9, 1945, the second nuclear bomb nicknamed Fragment was dropped on Nagasaki City by U.S. Like the explosion 3 days ago, the second nuclear bomb claimed the lives of about 60,000 to 70,000 people. However, the impact of the nuclear bombing onto cities in Japan did not stop there. Over the decades, the number of people who died from being affected radioactivity when they presented into cities of being bombed nuclear continuously increased. Besides, it is estimated that hundreds of thousands of people are affected in terms of health and lives later. Therefore, since nuclear weapons were first used in the world, the experts as well as the humanity are extremely concerned because if there is a next nuclear war, the humanity could bruise to the edge of destruction. Currently, when making this clip, the Russia-Ukraine war is still tense. The interests of any country are important, but the people's rights and peace for all of humanity are the top priorities. We hope everything will end well soon, so as not to start a new world war. Thank you for watching. If it is interesting and useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so that more can share more interesting information for you.